Hi guys, today I'm going to be trying on some of the newly released SUQQU collection for Autumn Winter 2022. Now in this collection there were 4 quads that were released. There were also 4 blushes, 2 of the melting powder formula and 2 of their powder formula with the gradient in it. There were also 3 highlighters, there were some lipsticks, and there were also 1 or 2 nail polishes. I picked up 2 quads, I picked up 2 melting powder blushes, and I also picked up 2 of the highlighters since the highlighters were limited edition. So the quad that I'm going to try today is number 117, and that quad is limited edition. The 2 melting powder blushes aren't limited edition, so I'm just going to decide which one I'm going to use for today's video. So it's the standard SUQQU packaging, which I love. It's very minimalist and has a magnetic closure. There does have 2 brushes inside. One has a brush and the other one is a sponge applicator. I'm just going to take those out. There is the generous mirror inside. And here is the colour story of 117. So in here you've got a really green shade. You've also got a green satin and a matte brown. And there's a mixture of mattes, satins, and there is a topper as well. So I'll swatch these on my arm and I'll swatch them from left to right and top to bottom. So the first shade is a topper and that is a pink. And it has a sparkle to it. It doesn't feel chunky. It feels quite smooth. And the second shade is a satin. And this has sort of a bit of red and green in it. And it's a bit like a duochrome. Third shade is a green satin. And the fourth shade is a brown, and I'll just swatch that one again. And this is a matte shade. So I've already got my foundation and powder on, powder under my eyes and the rest of my face, and also some bronzer on as well. I've done my eyebrows and I also have eyeshadow primer on as well because I have oily lids, so I have to wear an eyeshadow primer. The foundation that I'm wearing is the SUQQU one. It's the liquid foundation. I reviewed this when it first came out earlier this year. I love this foundation, and even though I have oily skin, I find it absolutely beautiful. I haven't used it yet in summer when there's heat because it's winter here in New Zealand, but for the times that I have used it, and that was the beginning of autumn through the winter, it has been absolutely gorgeous. But I do plan on using it through spring and also summer in the warmer months, so I can let you know what I think of it and how it handles sort of heat and humidity with oily skin. So I'm going to start with the Rapha number 14 brush, and I'm going to go into this shade here. This is the one that's sort of like a duochrome and has sort of like red and brown in it as well. And I'm going to put that through my crease and just above as well. I've used SUQQU eyeshadows for quite a while now, and I've got quite a few, the eyeshadows and the blushes, and I love the formula. They blend beautifully. You can build them. When you first put them on, there's not a massive impact of pigment, but I love it that you can build them. I think the formula is really, really beautiful. Now I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the Worker 3, and I'm going to go into this matte shade. I'm going to put this in the outer corner and a little bit just through the crease, just in the outer corner here. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the pencil one. I'm going to stick with this matte shade and I'm going to run some on my lower lash line. I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the Builder Pro, and I'm going to go into this green satin shade. And put that just over the rest of my lid. And then I'm going to go into this topper. This is it's a sparkly topper. It doesn't feel chunky at all. And I'm just going to place that over the green and the rest of the shadow as well, just to give some sparkle. Then I'm going to take the reference number 3 and I'm going to go back into this topper shade, and I'm going to put some in my inner corner. You probably won't be able to see much of this on camera because it's very, very light. It's not really like a highlight at all. It just adds a little bit of sparkle. But it does look really pretty. It's really soft and very subtle. So I've now put some mascara on. I also put an eyeliner on as well. And the eyeliner is the Sisley one, and it's in Mystic Green. So this is the finished look. This quad blended like a dream, and I'm not surprised because all the other SUQQU quads that I've tried as well, they blend beautifully too. So now we'll take a look at one of the blushes. I'm going to use blush number 10. This isn't limited edition, and this is in the melting powder formula, and it's sort of like a gel to powder formula, and it melts into the skin just like it says. It's absolutely beautiful. So they do come with a small brush. I'll just take that out. And here is the shade for number 10. And I'll just get the camera to focus. And this is sort of a deep rose, sort of berry shade. I think it's really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to take the SUQQU 03 brush, and I'll just go in fairly lightly. These can be quite pigmented. I can always add a little bit more, which I'm going to. That is a really, really pretty shade. I love that. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So now we'll take a look at the highlighters. They are 101 and 102. 101 looks green, but it doesn't go on green, and the other one is pink, and this one has a little bit of shimmer in it. Now I haven't tried either, so the packaging, you just pull off the cap and it's a twist up, and you can also twist it back down again. So this is number 101, and as you can see, it looks like green. And I'm just going to put a swatch of this on my hand. I've got a feeling that this might feel like the Westman Atelier one, and that's not really a favourite of mine. This doesn't feel as glossy. There's not much point in really holding up my hand. All you can see, if you can see anything, is a slight shine. So it's just to add just a bit of gloss to the cheekbone, but with no shimmer. So you just get that gloss look, and it's not too glossy. It's quite subtle. I would say it's more subtle than the Westman Atelier one. And I would say the best way to put this on is just with your finger and just pat it onto your cheekbone. So it gives a gloss and a shine. It is pretty. It's just sometimes with these, I don't think that this would matte down. So it's a matter of whether it stays a bit too sticky, but I think it looks really pretty. So we'll take a look at the other one. This is 102. And it is a very, almost like a icy pink, possibly even a bit of a salmon pink. And this has a slight sparkle in it. So that's where I've swatched it there. So I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it on my hand. I think if I turn it that way, you can. I think this looks really pretty. So even though it'll be adding even more highlight on my cheekbone, I'm going to put this one over the top. And when I do my next video with the other quad, I will just use this highlighter on its own. But for the video today, I'll add this over the top. So it adds more shine, but this has got shimmer in it. And it's really subtle. So this is really pretty. So this is probably my favourite out of the two highlighters. Now both these highlighters are limited edition. So I didn't get a SUQQU lipstick this time, so I've put on a Guerlain lipstick, and it's the one Lily Caress. So this is the finished look, and I think this is really, really pretty. I love this colour story, but I love browns and greens, and I think this is absolutely stunning. And I love that pink topper as well. And I think that would be really pretty, even if you just used the matte shade all over the lid and just above as well, and then tapped over with that pink topper without using the green. I think that would look really, really lovely. With the highlighter sticks, I definitely prefer the pink one over the green one, and it's just a matter of preference. I think the green one just adds a clear gloss, and I didn't really like the formula of the Westman Atelier. This one doesn't feel, not greasy, because the Westman Atelier one doesn't feel greasy, but it just, the Westman Atelier feels like it moves over the skin a bit more, if that makes sense. Whereas this one doesn't feel as glossy as that. But I think out of the two, I'll definitely get more use out of the pink one with that little bit of shimmer in it. I think it's really, really pretty. And the blush is gorgeous. What a beautiful, beautiful shade. That real rosy deep color, I think, is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really pleased with the products that I've picked up so far, and I'll be doing another video soon on the other quad and other blush that I picked up. Now these are for sale at the moment at Selfridges, and I think it's from the 5th of August. These go on sale at Liberty London, also at Cult Beauty and Harrods. But each place has not necessarily the whole collection. So if you want to have a good look at the whole collection, probably Selfridges is the first place to look at first. And at the date of making this video, everything that I've tried on today is still available. So overall, I'm really happy with what I got from this latest SUQQU collection, and I'm looking forward to trying out the other products. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.